Peter calls Nigeria a crime scene following the shocking revelation of 210 trillion in financial irregularities by the NMPC from just 2017 to 2023. 210 trillion, real unaccounted money. We have some accrual expensive of 103 trillion and 107 unaccounted receivables, which we will leave for now. Let's focus on the 210 trillions unaccounted for. Now, what was the total national budget within the same period? It was 88 trillion, meaning that what we spend to run Nigeria officially isn't even half of what disappeared into shadows through one government agency, NMPC. Now let's talk about who was in charge. From 2017 to mid-2019, NMPC was led by late Dr. Maikanti Barrow. From 2019 till April 2025, Mele Kyari led NMPC. So, if 210 trillion in irregularities were discovered across 2017 to 2023, and the man leading the institution just left not so long ago, the question is, why hasn't he been made to account for it? This revelation came from the Nigerian Senate under this government's nose, and as usual, silence, no arrest, no investigation, no outrage. This is not just failure, it is complicity. When a government says it is fighting corruption, although I haven't even heard this government say they are fighting corruption, but turns away to 210 trillion, what is it really doing? I mean, let's put it in today's value. We talk about Abacha's loot. Abacha's loot was about $3.6 billion, and it now worth 5.58 trillion in today's naira. Just imagine that money stolen decades ago, and it's still being used by government, both past and present. Yet, with 210 trillion in questionable funds floating in NMPC's books, the government hasn't shown no urgency, no interest, no serious response. This isn't just about NMPC. It's about a country where corruption has replaced governance. In past administrations, those accused of looting were at least held accountable. There were efforts. Billions in Abacha's loot were traced and recovered from overseas. The Zenia Leeson also, properties and assets worth billions were seized. We also have heard of James Ibori, where about 4.2 billion recovered from UK are repatriated in 2021. These actions may not have fixed Nigeria, but they sent a message that loot is not safe. But under the current administration, imagine the president publicly wishing happy birthday to a man who is declared wanted by the EFCC. Therefore, sending a signal to today's Nigeria that it's no longer enough to loot and hide. You can at least loot and be celebrated. This is how deep we have sunk. Even if it feels like no one is listening, we must keep ringing the bell because silence is what they're counting on. They want us to get tired, but we won't. We can't. Not when the future is at stake. A new Nigeria is possible, but only if we fight for it. Take care and have a nice day. Peter calls Nigeria a crime scene following the shocking revelation of 210 trillion.
This country, na joke. Forget about it. This country, na joke. Everybody will just talk about it and they will move on, and that is the end. That is the very, very end. Nobody's going to say nothing about it. Everybody will make noise. Just like Abacha's wife, I think she has been vindicated that all the money her husband left, how did they manage it? They are just using Abacha's case to cover up, honestly speaking. Just like the way they use Dasuki to distract a lot of Nigerians, to distract all Nigerians. The people that really stole, they left them. People were asking the question, why is it that it was a Dasuki who was given was the opportunity or the order to do what he did? Who gave him that order? It was Goodluck Jonathan, but they looked the other way. At the end of the day, they just tried to use Jonathan's side that they seize peanuts. At the end of the day, have they not even released what they took from her just to distract Nigerians? Also, they went after, what's this woman's name? Desiani. They talk about Desiani, talk about Desiani, talk about Desiani. Who are they talking about today? You see, this woman, this man they are talking about. Tinubu is not looking at all the other people that even who have been alleged to have mismanaged the public fund. All his kinsmen. Who are they going after? Emefiele. Today Emefiele. Tomorrow Emefiele. Tomorrow Emefiele. As if the Tinubu himself, as if we don't know even what he did in Lagos. But that is just a story for another day. If the story is going to be told, if people will be allowed to tell the story, that is it. So what are we talking about? They will say talk about it and move on. All the money they have been talking about, that like the Zani and the rest of them, even Abacha, is it up to 5 trillion naira now? 5 trillion naira. Now we are talking about 200, over 200 trillion naira. Nobody is saying anything, and you think we are all non-entity in this country? It is the usual way. Everybody will make noise before you know. Everybody will still go. The whole thing will just move on like that. Nobody is going to say nada. It's just very, 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 very bad. Very, very unfortunate. We celebrate corruption. We celebrate looters. These are the people they celebrate, and they call them powerful men. They call them because they will use a technicality and all manner of nonsense. We have a straightforward law. If you do this, this will happen. If you do this, this will happen. But they will use manipulation and all of that. Nobody will be able to say anything. Impunity. Just like the lady said, nobody even said, this government, did they even say they want to fight corruption? Eh? Did they say they want to fight corruption? They don't say they want to fight corruption. Uh-huh. They don't say they won't fight corruption, but we can see what has been going on from a from their own angle. It's very, 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 very bad. Very, very bad. Over 200 trillion. They go talk about it. They move on. Another story will come up again. Nobody's going to say go and arrest. See what happened in Benue State. It was Tinubu that said, I think they are not arrest. All those things are scripts. Now they write scripts. That's what they are writing, and they are following it. They have written the scripts and they are following that script. So what are we talking about? We want to fight corruption over 200 trillion naira. Everybody just look.